Chile has withdrawn from hosting two major international summits, including next month's APEC summit, because of anti-government protests. 20 leaders were to come together, including Prime Minister Scott Morrison, US President Donald Trump and China's President Xi Jinping. Here's North America correspondent James Glenday.
Well, for the past 13 days, Chile has been grappling with these nationwide protests. They first broke out over a metro fare hike of 4%, and President Sebastián Piñera responded pretty harshly at first. He said that the country was at war and that Chileans needed to pick sides. Things fairly predictably escalated dramatically. He backed down, but these protests keep growing in size and some of them have turned violent. There's been some vandalism and 20 people so far have died. And in a bid to contain the rising unrest, President Piñera has announced that the APEC summit, the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation meeting, as its full name is, and December's global UN climate conference won't be able to be held in Chile anymore. He said earlier today that the decision had caused him quite a lot of pain.
We deeply lament the problems and the inconveniences that this decision will have on APEC. As president for all Chileans, I have to always put the problems and interests of the Chileans, their necessities and their hopes first.
Well, Scott Morrison was going to be there, so for a local audience, there's always kind of that interest. But a lot of the focus was expected to be around the shadow of uncertainty hanging over the global economy, and in particular, free trade, because Donald Trump, US President, and also China's President Xi Jinping were expected to finalise or ink the phase one of a fairly modest trade deal, which would have formalised their truce in the trade war that they agreed to not that long ago. The other thing I think is really worth pointing out is how much of a blow this is for Chile, because in the region, in South America, Chile's long been seen as sort of a oasis of stability and economic growth, and not really just the protests, but also this decision to cancel it, and the fact that the government has failed to get on top of the unrest really does damage that image.